Hello to everybody from Byblos Glasgow. I hope everyone's doing well and keeping safe. What I'm going to be creating today is just adding some loops, head pin loops with brass beads and connecting them to a necklace that I've already made. So it's basically just to add on the head pin loops and the brass beads. Just to give you an idea of the kind of things that I do to necklaces. And I hope you will like the video. Do like it and subscribe and enjoy the video. Thank you. So this is the necklace. It's got various connecting beads in brass and bronze and some gold plated thick chain and various jump rings that join brass pendant pieces. So it just makes more of a statement, having lots of different findings. Findings are the pieces that, like the earring loop or the clasp or the jump ring, that helps bring the necklace together, put things together. So I'm going to create the loop. Create the loop for the head pin. So I'm putting the brass bead onto the head pin like that. So then it's with the head of the head pin there. And then what I will do is just cut a little piece of the wire so it's not too long, and I cover so that the wire doesn't go flying, and I've caught it. So that's good to keep safe, that there's not flying pieces of metal. And then, as you can see, that's been cut a bit and it's reduced a lot so that you can have more of a neat loop. So then I just bend the loop to create it. Just bend the wire. So that wire is bent at an angle. And then as you can see, it's bent. And now I'm going to just create a loop. So there's a half loop there, and then I'm just going to push it forward a bit and be more of a loop. And then you can see here, that's the loop. And then I'm able to connect it to any part of the necklace. You could add a jump ring just to make it look a bit lengthy, so to add more length to the brass bead. So I'm going to look for a jump ring. You can get them in. I like to mix the metals, so instead of just having one tone of metal, I like to have both gold plated bronze and also silver. So I've got some of the jump rings here. a selection so I can use these. They're in various grades. I'll use these larger ones. Okay. So I'll just connect those to the head pin loop so that it looks more finished in the loop. So I'm closing the loop here so that it's neat. Can you see that? More of a loop. And then I'm just adding the jump ring in place. So the fun part is knowing where to put each piece to make it appealing. And I think I'm going to put it here. There's a bit of a gap there. And then we close the jump ring, make sure it's neat so that there's no catching of the jump ring on clothing or anything like that. So next I'm going to do a few more just to show the process. And then again, putting in the head pin through the whole of the brass bead. And that, you can see the length is quite long there. So again, I'm going to just cut that off a bit so it's not too large, catching the metal so it doesn't fly. And there we have the shorter length. Okay, and then so these pliers, these are round nose pliers. These are very useful for creating the loops for jump rings, the loops for earring hooks, and for connecting bracelets, etc. Right, I'm going to use the round nose pliers now, and then just angle it like so, and then again create a nice neat loop right through there. So there we go. There we have a half closed loop. So then I'm going to close it once I've added the jump ring. So just again opening up the jump ring. That's opened. Hope you can see that. That's a bit clearer, isn't it? And then I'm going to just close the loop on the brass piece, closing the loop so that I can attach the jump ring. There we are. They're very pretty because they've got these indentations and markings on them, so they're quite beautiful with the texture. And then I'm closing the jump ring. So then we have 2 on there added to the neck piece. I'm just going to do one more for emphasis, and hopefully that will give you some inspiration to create your own neck piece. It doesn't have to be as detailed. It can be very simple. Simple is just as beautiful. And I liked adding a bit of texture with the different metals, mixed metals. So here again, going to be cutting the length and covering it so it doesn't fly. There we go, putting the head pin through. And then these pliers are also called flat nose pliers, and they're good for, you know, all kinds of jobs, whether in soldering, when you're holding on to things, or if you're creating a bend in wire and you want more of a flat, rigid line rather than a curve. The flat nose plier is very good for that. So I'm going to use it just to create that bend, and then a loop is going to be made again, like so. So we have this loop's a bit smaller. So we have the loop there. Can you see? Yeah, that's a bit better. And then I'm going to close the loop. So that's more closed. Just to attach the jump ring. It's actually very, the wonderful thing about creating jewellery is that you can do it anywhere and everywhere on the go. You can do it at home, you can do it, like if you have to go somewhere, you can maybe set up in a very discreet place and just be making with your hands. It's such a versatile profession to go into, because you're learning all the time, you're always growing, and there's no end to the creativity and the knowledge that you gain from it. So I'm just adding this last loop, and I'm going to close that. There we go. Make sure that's flush. And there we go. So I've done 3 there, and I just need to finish off right down to the end. But I hope you do get an idea of how many brass pieces I've added, and the process of it. And I mean, you could be as creative as you want. You can create your own jump rings from other metals, you can texture them, you can do so much with the materials that you have. And whether it's expensive gold or whether it's base metals, it's good to use noble metals, but using base metals like brass and bronze and copper, it's good for beginners. And it's a nice way to start experimenting. And I hope this video has given you an idea of like how you can experiment with neck pieces and create your own individuality. So do let me know how you feel about the video. Let me know, like and subscribe, and I'm happy and open to questions, open to any views. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and do follow me on Instagram. It's Byblos Glasgow on Instagram and Twitter, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you. All the best. Take care.